All right, all you nerds, all you nerdy folks, all you geekity geeks. It's Christmas time. It's going to be awesome. So don't go away.
Boom! Boom!
Wrongo. Anywho's, tonight's going to be a wonderful night. Let me bring on Dustin. I'm
I
struggling
was
tonight, dude.
not ready. I was so not ready.
Well, so all of a sudden, all the thumbnail pictures on my images or my videos to the right just show broken links. So I was hoping top left was the little thing we got going on, and no, it was not. In fact, it was just
Boom!
the memories. The memories. You know what really brings back memories, guys? I was so pumped up about what I did with what I'm about to show you guys. And then YouTube said, stop doing this kind of thing because it's killing retention and nobody's going to watch your videos anymore. But I love this one. Those are some good times.
Yep, that was my favorite one you've ever made.
That brings back a lot of nostalgia for me over the last 4 years. That gets me really excited. You know what I need to do is start watching that like 2 or 3 times a day and be like, you know what? We're bringing it back to 3 years ago. We're just going to do fun, silly stuff we enjoyed. And if you guys watch it, whatever.
I feel like we had a live stream about that recently that we
I
were
know.
going to.
And then I broke my toe. Oh, in 24 hours in the comic shop we talked about, it happened. It was a bust when it comes to filming.
Yeah.
Dungeons and
There's not going to
Dragons.
be any videos, but
I
just
mean, I may
know
do
that
something.
just know that like a quarter of it was really cool, and the rest of it was the most miserable time of my entire existence. And I may never step foot in that comic shop again, ever.
I told him I was not coming back for 24 weeks. No, so super quick. Like we played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time. Really not a whole lot of film there because we just yelled at a bald man.
Yeah, wasn't really impressed with the Dungeons and Dragons.
I think we need to try it again with a little bit different scenario. Josh talked about it.
Yeah. And maybe some different players. Like I think some of the players we had kind of.
I think Alan ruined it for me.
Alan? No, me and Alan were the only ones on the right track. Like we were just trying to like figure it out. Like let's quit screwing around and let's just figure this out. We both knew the little girls outside were dead. Like we called that from the jump.
Yeah. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna build a gaming table. It's gonna sit back here. And I'm gonna bring Josh and Alan over. And you're gonna come up and you can bring your wife or whatever. We could really play Dungeons and Dragons at my table. Anyway, but I'm gonna build a gaming table and we're gonna have somebody come do another one. Because I think it was generally could be
one
really
as
fun.
a late birthday present. That would be cool.
What now?
You should build me one as a late birthday present.
What, like a board game table?
Yeah.
Well, I had something I was gonna get you, but let me build mine first, and if you like it, we can talk. Yeah, I would be willing to do that.
Maybe by next birthday. I
genuinely enjoy building. What now?
Maybe by next birthday then, right?
No, like I'm already started on mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the show. Enough about us, guys. This is the Collect Your Way show. If you guys have not been tuning in and you're not familiar with what's going on here, we are bringing on some of our friends and favorite people in the community. And hey, if you hit us up on Instagram, even if you're not one of our favorite people or friends, maybe we haven't had a lot of conversating, that's fine. We want you guys to hit us up to come on the show and show off the things in your collection that really, really just get you going. The ones that give you the comic book wood. You know what I'm saying? Those things that maybe you're not showing off on the big shows that you see. You know, maybe these aren't the cool books you post on Instagram for likes and stuff like that. But this is the stuff you really, really love. And tonight we have a guy that, man, had to be one of our very first followers on here. I mean, like this guy is absolutely one of our very, very, very first supporters. And I got like little goosebumps. I've gotten to know this guy over the past few years. We have a lot of things in common. We've had awesome conversations. He and I even did a show for a while together. But if you haven't guessed already by my little friend here, we are bringing on our buddy Steve. You guys know him as Captain Comics.
Steve. Steve.
That was your cue, Nick. You suck at this.
I love these intros. Ahoy, mates and mermaids. At least I didn't get the drum roll like Panda last week, you know.
No, pirates don't get drum rolls.
No.
Pirates get yeah, we need to load some more sounds in there. That's neither here nor there.
Yes, because first century pirate ships totally had air horns.
Right.
I'm telling you, if you were into board games, which I was not until this weekend, Dustin has one called Plunder.
Yeah.
And it's literally the best shit talking game ever.
Yeah. You ever heard of the board game, the Catan board games everybody's been playing and talking about?
Mm-mm.
All right. So the way this game goes is basically like the whole board is open waters. There's different islands that have skulls on them, and you have to basically build your boat by going around and collecting different resources, and you use those to like buy cannons for your boat and sails for your boats, and then you can sail to the islands and you can attack the islands, and if you win them, you get to put your flag up, and then you can attack other boats and other people's islands and take them over. I mean, it is really, really cool. My wife just happened to see it on Amazon when she was looking for some games for my son and bought it for me for my birthday. And they are actually downstairs right now. She's down there with a blanket over and trying to teach him how to play. And because he was just dying, so he couldn't wait for me to get done. So she's trying to show him, let him mess with it. But yes,
it was
absolutely
great.
one of the most. It is the most fun board game ever. Love it.
Yeah, I definitely I enjoyed it, man. The schmack talking that took place. I feel like Steve would play it very well.
Probably Risk, all that.
Oh yeah. So I think if you like Risk, like this is probably fairly close to that.
Yeah, man. Everybody wants to be about. Anywho, we won't spend the whole time talking about Plunder, but it's 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
So Steve, how you been doing, buddy?
Good. Wife got 2 little teacup dogs that I'm always afraid I'm going to step on now, but they're whiny little things.
No more dogs for me until mine dies.
I don't even consider it a dog. It's like smaller than a squirrel. So, I mean.
That's
so
funny.
basically you have a couple of barking rats.
Right. They're like a Chihuahua and some Shinshu dog. I don't know. They're like this big and they just yap all the time.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine that's fun to be around all the time for sure. You been doing anything comic book wise recently? Looking for
Actually, I've been kind of helping out a guy here in town in Sturgis itself because we never really had a comic book store. So helping him get going on things, took some comic books down, sold him some comic books.
Awesome.
Kind of gave him a lot of suggestions. Might be doing a couple auctions with him. He just got in a whole bunch of like Kid Coles and a whole bunch of Western ones.
Okay.
And some of them are really, really nice shape, and other ones, you know, you can tell somebody's read them like 40 times. Like the first prototype of Black Panther.
Okay. Yep.
Kid Cole or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the cover's detached off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still,
I mean, it's still a cool book though.
Right. It's one of them ones you don't see every day. But he had everything through it from like 47 to 100, you know. It was the whole run, so
yeah, I like those old Western ones, man. They have some cool covers and cool interiors. That's one thing, like with certain genres that have just started kind of making, like getting really popular, like the love and romance genre of pre-code is just gotten really popular over the past couple of years, and like it is like on fire right now. And I've always wondered, like, will the Western genre ever get that treatment where people are like in love with the Western genre of comics again? So, because I know at that time it was a big thing, but I mean, who knows?
With the Western comics, that would be really intriguing to see if that ever makes a comeback.
Yeah,
because I mean, there's so much out there.
Some of them are Stan Lee, some of them are Kirby's even too. That's early stuff that they did there. Same thing with the love novels, love romances. We don't look towards them because it's not a superhero. It's not.
Right. It's not what they're really known for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. So, Steve, what have you? Yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, it could happen. I think it would be cool. I know. I'd love to have a nice copy of All-Star Western, Jonah Hex first appearance. That was one to have. I had a really nice copy of Jonah Hex #1. I don't know where it is though. I've got that's the problem I have sometimes is I buy something, put it in a box, and then I don't remember what box it's in, and a whole mess. So, but
that's this box that I have tonight is just a special box, one box. If I get them, find them, buy them at auctions, garage sales, anything like that, this is the box that these comic books go in. I don't care if it's DC, Marvel, whatever, New Universe. It's one box all into its own.
Awesome.
I'm pumped. I bet you have a lot of neat stuff.
This collection took me about as long as I've known you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as long as I've known you, you've been picking these up. I mean, you're the one person I mean, obviously, everybody wants to grab these books if it's like a Marvel Spotlight 5 with the insert in it or something, because it makes it more valuable. But I don't know of anybody else particularly that is just picks these up, like no matter what it is. So definitely very, very cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, some of these tonight we're gonna question if they even are what they say they are.
Okay. So we're gonna learn a little bit.
Right, we are. So this box is all Mark Jewelers from anywhere from, I think it's 1970. Yep. All the way up to the 90s through there. But I got them all in alphabetical order. And so we'll only go through a couple at a time, and then I'll talk about a couple of them that I've never shown before, which are bizarre. Like, I bought them at a garage sale or I bought them offline and nobody really knew what they had, but I kind of had an idea.
Okay.
So it's like some of them are one of a kind, like you'll never see this anywhere else.
All right.
So we'll start off with an easy one, a little Alpha Flight.
Okay.
Nice.
So go with another Alpha Flight.
So I don't think we even told everybody what these are.
These are all Mark Jewelers.
He did say that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So here's another one, Avengers.
Oh,
now,
cool.
Most Mark Jewelers, you can tell that there's always a newsstand. That's how one of the ways that it gives it away what it is. Now, the other way is sometimes if you turn it sideways, you might be able to see the line down the middle.
Mm-hmm. I look for that all the time because I've literally seen graded comics that are not labeled with the Mark Jewelers insert, and you can see the insert while it's in the slab still, and I'll grab them.
Some of these have a hard cover. They're hard. They're thick. They're like a cardboard. Some of them are like paper themselves.
Yep.
Like it's a completely piece of paper with just the Mark Jeweler on it. So that one, that's Avengers. Now the next one we have, with all that said, is going to blow your mind. So here we got a Batman.
Okay.
All right. Neat.
This is the only Batman one I have. And it's issue 371. Now it doesn't have newsstand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I call this a misprint, sort of.
Now that you say that, I don't really hear of or see many DC Mark Jewelers. Period.
There are.
I that's not something I've really ever seen a whole lot of, but I'll have to keep an eye on it.
So this one has no newsstand on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have a Mark Jeweler in it, but it isn't cardboard. It's actually paper.
Oh,
and
neat.
It's actually the next page.
Oh, okay. So it's actually okay. Because
So
most
you
of the
couldn't
time
see
they're not.
this one even from the top, even if you wanted to.
Right.
It's actual, just part of the comic book.
Yeah, because normally they won't have story printed on the opposite page. The whole ad is just a separate deal.
Yep, because you have to fill them out and send it.
So it's all got its own insert right in the middle.
Okay.
This one is really not even in the middle. It's more quarter of the page. The middle is a couple more pages down. There's the middle.
Okay, so that's also interesting for sure.
Very
But
neat.
it also doesn't have a newsstand on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of one of them weird ones. I mean, this is in rough shape. I mean, she got dog ears all over her.
Yeah.
But a guy like me that looks for Mark Jewelers, that's a rarity for me to find something that's off like that.
Yeah, very much so. And
So
what was the distribution for Mark Jewelers? Because I've heard it, but I don't remember. Like,
they say anywhere from 1% to 5%.
okay, and wasn't it like a certain part of the country or certain places?
It was given to military bases. So
Okay.
then if you went over to, wherever, and you wanted to send your sweetheart a diamond ring or whatever, you could send it. And you just
Okay.
put your name, rank, and whatever on it, and they
That makes
just
sense.
build you. So that one's quite interesting. We'll go through a couple quick ones here.
I've never even thought to ask about the background of a Mark Jewelers.
Yeah, I've heard it talked about before, but I couldn't remember it quite what the deal with it was, and I'd remembered something about it being military bases, but I knew it was also a very, very small percentage of the print run too.
So we'll go through some caps.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool. I like that one too. I've got one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one's got the other indicator on it. Or am I seeing the star on it?
No, not that one.
Okay.
A lot of the older ones have the stars on them. And I'll show a couple of them ones.
Yeah, I've seen them in different places too. Like I've seen them up around the issue number box. Yep. I've seen them down on the barcode.
Captain America always has the coolest comics.
The zombie one.
Or the coolest covers.
Oh, that's neat. I've never seen that one. Magneto on a Captain America cover.
And not only that, on
beating Red Skull down. That is a gnarly cover. Yeah. I'm gonna have to check. That's cool. I like that.
Me
I'll have to check my box and see if I may have that one and just didn't notice it. Because I've got almost that whole run.
So that's Captain America. Now we'll go to a couple Conans. Now the weird thing is Mark Jewelers can be anything. They can go Conans. They can go Captain America. We had some Alpha Flights. We'll go some Conans.
I had a ASM 129.
Was that a Mark Jewelers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Set the lowest record for the sales, and then all of a sudden it was on the top Hot 10 list as a high sale record, which was silly to me.
Hey, but if you look at what Ryan sent us on Instagram, you can get a much higher grade now for that same price. So you did okay in the end.
Yeah, so I ditched it for
Now I'll
we
tell
got
you something that
Claw,
I. Oh, okay, right on.
which is a quite
Oh, that
Conan.
is cool.
And that's Mark Jeweler.
Another DC one, and that one does have the newsstand. So I can share a story that of something that happened to me with a newsstand or with a Mark Jewelers. Doing the pressing and cleaning, Mark Jeweler ads obviously add a bit of a problem because usually they're not cut the same width as the pages. So you have to make precautions for that so you don't have the indentation throughout the entire book and on the covers. So I'm putting my stack inside the book and getting everything separated. And I had tested a couple of them that I had found at my local shop just to make sure that it would work and everything was cool. So never had any problems. I'd probably done like 10 or 15 of them. Justin Birch sends me a first appearance of Cable, I believe. And it's like a 9.4 Mark Jewelers or something like that. And so I do the same thing that I've done, multiple times before. And I put it in there. And when it was time to pull it out, the papers that I used to stack inside would not come out. And I was like, holy crap. And I look at it and it's got the adhesive. That particular ad was made so that you could basically fold it into itself and lick it like an envelope and it would had the adhesive to it. So when I heated that up, it stuck to the paper that I was using to keep the ad from indenting on the rest of the book. So my first thought was, let me heat it up again. Let me try to steam it. Let me try to loosen this up. And it's just not working. And then I read in very small print on the edge of the paper, it says to use moisture to activate adhesive. Yeah. So I'm like, holy shit. I'm just sitting here making it stickier. Long story short, I was able to get the papers out. The book was unharmed. It actually ended up hitting, I think, a 9.6. So, no harm, no foul there. But I had already messaged Justin, was like, dude, sorry, I ruined your book. My bad. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm glad it happened to you and not someone that's going to rake me over the coals in front of all the people that follow me on Instagram. So I said, I'm going to keep playing with it, but we'll see what happens. And I got it worked out and got it taken care of and fixed. But man, that Mark Jewelers ad there, it definitely it gave me a run for my money there. And that was when I realized that they don't all have that adhesive strip on there, but you have to check every single one of them and make sure now when you're pressing and cleaning those things. So just another thing that's going to be different amongst all the Mark Jewelers ads is something like that.
Learning experiences.
Well, we'll start off with a little bit of Daredevil this time. Daredevil.
Oh, you need to get you the Stiltman Daredevil. When did Mark Jeweler start, by the way? Do you know, Steve?
Mark Jeweler started in 73, but then there was Diamond Jewelers, which is from 72 to 73.
Yep.
And now they're kind of more rare, but it's only for a couple months. There's
Comics and Death Metal. Ryan sent me a copy of that book. I've still got it. I love that cover one, man. Sabretooth. Yeah, I think that is what that Marvel Spotlight 5 I just recently pressed and cleaned. It was the Diamond Retailer insert, not a Mark Jeweler.
Right. Yeah. They went with some years in there too in the 70s and 80s. Diamond did too, but they originally started paying for the advertisement in the books that would go over to the military. And then Mark Jewelers kind of took over, and there was a couple other ones that were in there, but your main one is Mark Jewelers.
Okay.
There's the Defenders.
Hulk getting messed up. Oh, I didn't know the Beast was in the Defenders. Another Sabretooth cover. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really thought about like how many books out there. Like would have had these inserts in them. But I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot. You only ever hear
Now,
people
this-
talk about the keys.
This is my Doctor Strange, the only one I got, and it's the last issue.
Okay.
So some of these I'll have like the first issue, 1 or 2 or 3, or 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
or I'll have the very last issue or the very first one. It's kind of weird sometimes with these Mark Jewelers how I get them, what order I get them in.
Do you have those pictures uploaded?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just let us know when you want us to throw any of those pictures up.
All right, we'll get to them. Here's Elf. You ever heard of that? Elf Quest?
Yes,
Elf
Elf
Quest, yep.
Quest. We have seen a ton of those in the collections we bought early on.
Mm-hmm.
That one's
Fun.
27. Then we got a 28.
I think I've only ever laid eyes on the cover for issue number 1, though. I don't think I've ever seen any of the other issues. That's neat.
I never heard of it, but I guess it's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragon kind of game. Or
Oh,
I'm not
comic, I
familiar
guess.
with what it was at all. I don't know if anybody in the chat is. Jamie
Yeah, I don't know
Reeves,
either.
Callie, Comics and Death Metal. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Kyle, what's up? Mark.
This is my Fallen Angels.
That's cool.
Never heard of it.
Fallen Angels. That's Marvel, right?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if I've heard of that or not. It sounds familiar, but
So then we'll go with something that we do know. Oh, come on, what are you doing? Oh. We'll go with some Fantastic Four. These ones are always good ones. Now, each one of these I paid $10 for, and I got actually a pretty good deal on it because they're all really nice and
Look at the
mint,
thing.
you know.
yeah, that's cool, dude. Love some Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
It's the GOAT.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Spider-Man sucks, bro.
You need to read it more.
No, dude, you scared me off of it. I was like, I'm going to stop while I love it.
Probably for the best. I hear.
Oh,
Are
that's a
those your
cool one.
dogs, Steve?
Yeah,
I thought
they're
they were
just
done.
little
Yeah.
yappy little things that just, I mean, they're like paw size. Here's another DC.
Oh, Commandy, right on.
Commandi.
Now, like you said, Mark Jewelers get cut different than a regular like comic book pages. And it's really funny because if you look at the top of this one, see the new universe, how it's almost chopped at the top?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite. It's almost the same way for the Mark Jeweler. You can see it through there that it's not.
Oh,
lined up.
okay.
Interesting. Yeah. I wonder why
So I
they're
don't
not
know
cut.
if you lay
they're
them
cut
flat
early.
and then put the Mark Jeweler in and then cut it.
Yeah, that's because typically that's not how they would make. I mean, they would have to cut everything, then put the book together. So that's
Right. Like, do
that's
they put
definitely
it
an
in?
interesting case.
Because this is one of them weird ones. New Universe. I would have never read this, never even picked it up,
Mm-mm.
never cared. Kickers.
See, the new universe is something I know nothing about.
Mm-mm.
But
Nope.
this is another one. It's almost paper more than cardboard.
Mm.
Instead of having a thick base to it where you wouldn't normally be able to do that with the basic. But you can see it from the top that it does leave a little bit of a gap.
Yep.
Right down the middle. So some Mark Jewelers have cardboard, some are paper.
Yeah, some are definitely going to be a lot harder to see without having the book open.
Especially like this one. Has no barcode. You would have no idea that it was even a Mark Jeweler.
So what had you get into the whole Mark Jeweler scenario?
My uncle, when he actually came back from Vietnam, all his comic books all had Mark Jewelers.
Oh.
So when I went to a real comic book store and I was like, "Where's all these jewelry things? You guys just rip them out like me and my cousin do," and they were like,
Yeah.
they had no idea what we were talking about, anything like that. So then we go back home and we check through all the comic books, and they all have these Mark Jewelers in it. And I told my cousin, I was like, "I'm going to save these, and I think there's something important about them."
Yeah.
Well, years later, here they are. People are still kind of interested about them. They're low print. And I like finding the misprint ones or the first appearance or last appearance or something oddball about them. And jewelers by themselves are just a little bit different from your everyday collection. I can have DC, I can have Marvel. I can be all over the page with different ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Neat.
Yeah, I can imagine being a kid and noticing that would be definitely some questions involved.
Well, like this one has no barcode to Justice League. You would have no idea unless you look through the top. And this one has a thick cardboard to it.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is thick.
Yeah, that's like 100-pound car stock.
All right. But they say you can always tell if it has a barcode, it's automatically a Mark Jeweler. So there's one of them theories there. It doesn't necessarily have to have a barcode to say that it's a Mark Jeweler. There's the fact right there. No barcode, but still had one in it. The only way I knew that is I looked through the top. And that was a garage sale.
Oh, nice.
So you definitely have a pretty good eye for it then, huh?
Right, I do. Here's the last appearance of Jonah Hex. Last issue.
Yeah, that's an awesome cover too.
And then what happens to him after that, Dustin?
Jonah
Hex 2099.
Oh,
like they just jump out of nowhere from Old West, and then they make him a spaceman. That part I never got. This is a good series. I like Jonah Hex. I really do. But to just have the last issue make him disappear and become a spaceman and shooting aliens is just like
yeah,
right.
Off the wall completely.
I like this one. Justice. Never heard of it. Never heard of any of the heroes. Nothing.
It's a new one to me.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
Another one. Kind of cool looking.
Justice. That is cool. I like the blue. It looks kind of like the demon.
Here we get a little GI Combat.
And GI Combat's got some awesome stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the military ones, you'll see it will have the black star on it. And I'll show a couple of them here in a few minutes. But this is one of my, what do you call it? Oddballish to the oddballish of my gems. So we have 2 comic books here. Right? G.I. Joe, just like a cover list looking one. Well, if we open up both front pages, that's just the front page. We got that.
Okay.
Hold up the other one. All right. Now they're both the same book, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this one is a paper cover. Same back, different back. So this should be the front cover. So it's a misprint front cover.
Weird.
With a Mark Jeweler in it.
Whoa, that's definitely a one of a kind.
Yeah, that's cool.
Misprint front. So what does the back of that one look like?
So both comic books. That's the fronts.
So weird.
So if you open up both front, It's exactly the same page.
That's wild.
That is very, very strange. And they're both, G.I. Joe. Speaking of G.I. Joe, do you read it at all?
Not the newer stuff, the older stuff I did.
Yeah.
So this is issue 33 is what the cover is supposed to be on this one.
So, yeah, that has got to be the strangest thing.
So it's a misprint cover with the Mark Jeweler in it, which a normal person would look at this and go, oh, they ripped the cover off.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Right, easily.
Maybe it's a manga printing there, Steve. Maybe you're supposed to read it right to left instead of left to right.
Right. But it's one of the brightest, pinkest Mark Jewelers. I don't know if it's showing up pink.
Yeah, that looks real bright, real clean.
And that is right down the middle. Staples are right there. Staples are on the back.
So weird.
That's the way that cover is. So I had to find this G.I. Joe to find the cover that it's supposed to have on it, so I knew what it was supposed to be, and see if there was any advertisements that looked the same or anything like that.
I mean,
all the advertisements, everything from this book are completely different from the other G.I. Joe book.
That's just gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
I've never seen a book like that just in general.
No.
They got messed up that bad. What's up, Roscoe Warlord?
So that's one of my favorite mishap. How do you explain it? Miscover. It's just oddballish, just because oddballish should be. Now I know you're a big fan of the Hulk, so I think this might be one of them. Yes. So we got an old school Hulk, and you see on the K there's that little stamp.
Yep, there it is.
That's another way that you can find these Mark Jewelers is by that stamp.
What stamp?
See it right there on the K?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know anything about that.
Some of them can be red. Like I've seen red ones on DC before on eBay and people trying to sell them and whatnot too.
Yeah.
So I have seen red stamps. And that means that it's pretty much been at a military base. That pretty much means that they stamped it there. And
Okay.
So they sold it, resold it. Now, this is a Hulk from 1972. Okay. So this is actually Diamonds before Mark Jewelers. Now, little Diamonds has the same advertisement, big rings, buy your girlfriend a ring. They got kind of old school. Some of these is like they reprinted these in older books and stuff. I'll show you that. But the main thing that Diamond did, you could send your loved one some nighties.
Oh, okay. A little lingerie action going on.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not only could you send her a ring, but some lingerie. He wanted her to send you a picture back in.
That's funny.
Yeah, hopefully that's what she'll use it for, and not
So yeah, it was kind of to find these books, in good shape back then. Oh look, man, she's kind of hot in that 90. That's.
It is honestly, now that you bring stuff up like that, and I understand that it was meant for military guys. It's a wonder, like somehow Playboy or Hustler, didn't sneak an ad in there too.
Right, especially the military guys.
Have you ever found any that had the mail-in slip cut out?
Yes, I have, and I've had some that are filled out and stuff like that too.
That's cool. I've seen several of them, but I'd never seen one that had it filled out or cut out or anything. I was curious. So that always made me curious, like how often the guys would actually order from them.
So Mail 6565 said that it's generally overseas military bases that have the stamp, so it makes a lot of sense. Import export.
That's cool.
I'm assuming.
So that would make those. I would assume that'd make those even harder to get your hands on.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll go through a couple more Hulks.
So what is your prized book, Steve?
Ooh, that's hard to say because they're all like my little babies because they're all Mark Jewelers. I mean,
but do you have like one Mark Jewelers where you're like, that's it? Because to me, I feel like maybe the G.I. Joe one because of how unique it is.
The Batman one's up there too because it doesn't have a barcode on it and it's a page instead of being, you know.
Yeah,
that one was definitely really cool.
You should cut it out and frame it.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just making a joke.
We got a couple more Hulks in here. Hulks was kind of a popular thing.
Yeah,
Brian Banner, first appearance of Brian Banner.
Yeah, I would assume most of the most popular characters and highest order issues would be the ones with the most stamps because assuming the post exchanges, the PXs would hire more quantity, therefore more Mark Jewelers were produced of that. Or do we know if there was like, hey, if we produce 100 copies, 5% is just already dedicated to you guys, or do you know anything
I think that's
that?
kind of how it went. Is they filled off the rest of it. Okay, we're supposed to do like 10,000, so the last 2,000 we'll just make all Mark Jewelers or whatever.
That would be
because then we could split up direct, or we could go, newsstand. Wow, and I didn't even know it was a popular character, first appearance of a character.
Who is it? Prowler?
No, it's some Jewish lady.
Oh, okay. I was trying to read the yellow box down there what it said.
Can't remember. Power of the Pearl of the Promised Land.
Howler, okay.
Can't remember what her name was.
This thing is far too itchy to be wearing right now. Don't worry, my hair's still gonna look good. Bam. Just kidding.
Speaking of Tony Stark mustaches, there's the only Iron Man.
I'll take
only
it.
Iron Man I got.
Okay.
A lot of people say the same thing, that they find a lot in Iron Man and into Hulks and into Spider-Mans. A lot of my collection comes from Spider-Man's, is where I took some and then traded for some other ones. That's my ultimate goal, is get from A to Z of Mark Jewelers. I don't care what the title is, but at least have one of every letter.
Okay. Do you have a list of like every title that had them to work off of, or?
Pretty much what I've got is every title has one. You just have to, there isn't an actual ghost one, because some people are like, well, this might have one, or there might be only one of this, or like some of these we're seeing with the merch. Like this might be the only one of this one right now. It's not graded. It's not on the census. So yes, you're seeing it, but as far as them, there isn't one for this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would have to send in every one of these, and then I'd find out if it's the only one of it. And a lot of these, I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah. So what I was asking is you were talking about wanting one from each title that had the inserts. I didn't know if you had like a list of which titles had them, so that you knew, what you were looking for and what you were missing, or if you're just kind of shooting in the dark.
Pretty much shooting in the dark from everything from Batman in DC to everything that's in Marvel. Like this is a Marvel superhero one.
Okay.
Some of us might have that in our collection, some might not. Same thing with this. This is a Marvel 2-in-1. I have a couple Marvel 2-in-1s.
All the Death Race. All the Thing Death Race. Okay. The original Death Race cover in the second Ghost, or was it the second or the first Ghost Rider? I guess it was the first Ghost Rider series. That had a really cool cover too, but I've never seen that one. That's two of my favorite characters right there. I'll have to try to.
That's a 2-in-1. Like, you might collect 2-in-1s, or the next guy might collect 2-in-1s, and he come across the Mark Jeweler. Same thing. This is another 2-in thing with the Scarecrow.
Oh, that is neat. I didn't even know that was a Scarecrow. I didn't realize Marvel had a Scarecrow, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Yep. He's got his own title.
Really?
Yep.
That's
It's a very short run, but he had his own title for a second.
So Mail says that there is a list of Mark Jewelers out there on the internet to reference. So that's pretty neat.
There's a thing wrestling. I know how you like that.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite books was the I forget the title, but it was the one where the champion comes to Earth and all of Earth's heroes have to fight him in a boxing match. What's up, Old Wolf? Aggressively relaxing. What's up, buddy?
Ahoy. Now, this one I just paid for like 2 weeks ago, and I was kind of iffy about it because it does need a cleaning, but it looks good. That's all I care about.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. That's a nice one.
The main thing was it was a Mark Jeweler. So after that, I was like, all right.
Yep.
I wonder how many books I had early on that were Mark Jewelers that I didn't know about.
Yeah. Ain't no telling.
But everybody has different ones. So, like, this isn't a main character. There's nothing special about it. It's just a Mark Jeweler. Now,
So how do you go about, like, when you're digging through long boxes?
Basically, I look at the tops.
Okay.
Or if I'm looking like Ghost Riders, or like this one's Thor with Peacemaker. I just happened to come across this one, or the time. Oh, what is it? First mention of the Time Variant Authority from Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that one, and I just happened to come across this one, the next one right after it. Justice of Peace.
That's cool. I like that.
Good.
Yeah.
That bike he's on is pretty sweet.
Well, really, I don't care what the shape is. It can be a mint condition like these ones I paid $10 for.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, I could pay $5 up to $5 for Mark Jewelers before Corona hit. Nobody cared. Nobody, just nothing. Just take them, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now they want 25 to 10 to 15 to everything for it. Well, I'm not turning around and selling it. I'm actually trying to do a goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That. Oh, that's awesome. Is that like a dinosaur or a dragon? Yeah, it's a dragon. That's cool.
What is it? Fin Fang Fu.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. Yeah.
Yep.
The glare had it. The glare was kind of making it harder to see, but yeah. Yeah. He's cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think my shop, I think he's got a box of Mark Jewelers there. I know the majority of them are like old Sergeant Rock and stuff like that. Next time I go in though, I'll shoot you some pictures though.
We got a Superboy.
That's crazy. I've never really seen, I don't guess, or heard people really talk about the DC ones. I would, if somebody had asked me if DC had them, I would not have been able to give it a straight answer. So that's neat to see that
Where's Sergeant Rock from?
Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah,
I guess I have seen them.
So this one right here that we were just showing, this one has watches in it.
Are those digital watches too?
Yeah, man.
And you can get necklaces.
Okay, so offering a little more variety than just some rings on those.
Right. They mix it up, and then the rings are on the back page of it.
And that's another one of the heavy cardstock.
Yep.
That's got to be like some early digital watches there. I mean, I don't know when those really started coming out and being popular. I was obviously not born yet, but
$195. 1976. This comic book is.
Dang it.
What's up, Steven? My buddy Steven, Minor Key Comics. So he says it's about a 4-to-1 ratio of Marvel to DC Mark Jewelers inserts. So that's some good knowledge to have there.
That too.
Makes a lot
really
of sense.
hard. Now we're gonna get into the good ones, I guess.
To that good.
Yeah, because somebody apparently likes Spider-Man.
Hey, all I'm saying.
Second-rate superhero. Just throwing it out there.
So this one has one of them stars. If you can kind of see it right there in the corner there. 1977, Amazing Spider-Man.
I like it.
What's up, Phil?
All designed to get lonely guys away from home to spend their money.
Pretty much. I mean, it's like the OnlyFans of its time, except, you're hopefully spending it on a woman that loves you back.
Right. I kept the ring. We're over. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
That is
now some of these Spider-Mans I've had to trade to get a couple what I wanted, and some I've had to trade to get other Mark Jewelers. Now this one I like because it does have the stamp. Where's
one of my favorite
right
covers.
Below Spider-Man's hand.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite covers. I love the taxidermied animals behind it. Now I have the hiccup.
How Craven should be, man.
Mm-hmm.
That one I had to trade around to get it, but I got it. And then I was even happier because it had a black stamp on it, which you pretty much know it was a military thing then.
Yep.
Another Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
This one I got off of Whodat.
Okay.
He always teased me that I bought all his Mark Jewelers off of him. There's another one. Spectacular Spider-Man. We went from Amazing Spider-Man to Spectacular now.
He should have had a series called Subpar Spider-Man.
Then we got Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. We switched over.
The Blob.
What is the answer?
What is? Now, just like these random ones here aren't keys of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Some are, some aren't. But that's the whole thing. Finding out about them is it doesn't have to be everyone has to be, this or that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when it's, and that's kind of the whole idea behind these live shows we're doing here is like, we don't. It's not about like your big keys and your big flashy books. It's the things that
Spider-Man, the important things in life.
Yeah. First appearance of the Spot. That was a big one like a year ago. People are paying out their ass for that one.
And the first cover appearance of Spot.
Yeah. I haven't finished watching the Miles movie, but I will say that I really liked the character of the Spot in the movie. I was not a fan of the animation as much. I know everybody was like, this is the next level, best animation ever. I didn't care for the animation, but the character of the Spot was pretty cool.
So on that hype, should I sold it or should I kept it because it's only a Mark Jeweler? I think I paid like $10 for both of these comic books.
I think anything you bought pre-COVID, keep.
Yeah, I would say it's good that you kept them because obviously you would want to have them back and it would cost you more to have them back now. And what's the likelihood of you finding more of them? That's always something I take into consideration.
Sin Eater. I've never heard of that. That's his first appearance of Sin Eater on the back, Mark Jeweler.
Oh, yeah. Sin Eater's a strange one.
This one somebody might like.
Got one of those.
Mark Jeweler?
Nope. I do have that. That was when Sabretooth was a real savage too, man. I like the design in the Jim Lee era better, but he was way, way, way more of a savage in his earlier days.
He was a savage.
A couple of these I've come across like this: Spider-Man, Wolverine, or X-Men's.
That's like a triple threat there because it's number one. It's a a major title of its time. I mean, it's Spider-Man related. It's 25th anniversary cover. It's a newsstand, and it's Mark Jewelers. I mean, there's people that collect all of those things individually. So that's a big hitter. That's cool. Yep, The Descent number 4. Ratman. Was that his name? Ratman? No.
Yeah, I can't think of what it was.
I forget his name. I keep wanting to say Mole Man, but it ain't Mole Man.
You kind of look like a Ratman, Dustin.
Yeah. That's cool. I've never seen that.
Vermin.
Yeah, Vermin. That's right. Yeah, we're gonna get Steven on here one of these weeks and let him show off some of the strange and unique things.
Now here's a web of Spider-Man. Like, okay, there's only a couple that you can think of right off to the top of your head that actually have key things in them. A web of Spider-Man. So I found a couple that I actually bargained for and got. It's a lower grade. Issue 21. And for $3, I bargained for this one.
Nice.
No, that's not bad for $3.
No.
I had the entire Web of Spider-Man series at one point, every single issue. I always thought they had the better covers.
They do. Like, some of them are just out there,
Mm-hmm. I always liked them a lot better than the Amazing and the Peter Parker. Always thought they were way cooler.
Different stories, I would say, that were better.
I never read any of them.
Oh, really?
Nah, I was just picking them up because I love the covers. And before I knew it, I was like almost had the whole series. So I was like, well, I'm going to grab the last 15 or 20 I need and finish it up.
Now, this one, I don't know if most people know, but this guy is pretty much a porn star, and he's got Mary Jane there. And that's his evil powers, is he gets women to do whatever he wants. So Mary Jane's about ready to get into a, and then Spider-Man busts through the door.
Mary Jane turned corn star.
Right. Look, so Mary Jane to get this one.
I was going to say, Mary Jane at one point was an interesting character. So whatever Marvel's done with her since then, other than cucking Peter Parker for the last year or so, hey, that's neither here nor there.
Here he goes.
I can continue.
But as one of the stories of Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like,
yep,
there's so many great stories. This one's just such an oddball story. I had to find a Mark Jeweler in this one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, this is a very interesting Mark Jeweler because this made me realize that different covers are different colors. Now, I don't know if this picks up on the rocks. What color do you guys see on them rocks? It's kind of
hard to tell.
Like a bluish gray.
Just around them rocks, all that.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of green on the Mark Jeweler.
I do see a hint of green there.
But I did have another one, a newsstand, and I compared them. And these are usually brown rocks.
Okay.
So that's the difference on the Mark Jeweler cover, is it has kind of a greenish rocks instead of brown rocks. That was one of my weird finds on that.
I have noticed before that that there is a difference. Now the couple that I found, they were DC books. And the only reason why I noticed it is because I was looking at a newsstand copy of a book in a direct, and I couldn't decide if I wanted the newsstand copy because it was a newsstand or the direct because it was a little nicer condition. But I showed Nick, and I was like, does the newsstand copy of this look like it has a lighter, like less rich color to it? Like you could very visibly see that the direct was much more rich and vibrant color, but they were both very, very like good condition, like look brand new. And so I looked and I found a couple more, and I was like, these are the same way. And I was like, man, that's crazy that the way they printed the newsstand versus direct, that you can literally see a color variation on the covers. So that's neat to know. Like even Mark Jewelers, you know, maybe that's a whole
different color,
another third dimension deal there.
We got some Submariner.
Like some subby.
Blue Hands.
Probably one of the best things that come out of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't care if
Let me rephrase. He was well before the Fantastic Four. I get that. One of my favorite things I read in the Fantastic Four.
There you go.
Somebody's going to come after me.
Here comes a Marvel Tail. Couple of these.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Tales.
Right. It might be something that you normally not collect or whatever, but it's so many different varieties.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that'll definitely broaden your collection in a very, very big spectrum.
Now these are the collector item classics.
Oh, that's cool. Reprinting of ASM 40. No, was it in the 40s, Nick? No,
it was in the 20s.
It was in the 20s. It was like his third or fourth appearance. That should have been his first appearance cover, though. That was an awesome cover.
I don't remember exactly.
I think it was in the 20s.
But even these reprints come with Mark Jewelers inside of them.
Right on.
Oh, neat. I guess it does make sense. They're just sending them out.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if any of the well, no. I have seen reprint. I think I've seen a reprint with a Mark Jewelers in it, but I was gonna say I wonder if any of the facsimiles do, but I guess that wouldn't really make sense because I mean it wasn't in all of the issues, but that's cool that's a reprint with a Mark Jewelers in it. First MJ. I don't care what anybody says, that's her first appearance. There you go. Kingpin. I would have never thought to look at any of those. Sensational Spider-Man, amazing Spider-Man, spectacular Spider-Man.
You know it, homie.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna write a book called
There's a Marvel Team Up.
Hulk putting the business to him. That's
now
what he should have did
in
119 and 20.
I've had since I was a kid.
Oh
so
wow, that's
one
cool.
of the ones that I've kept and try to take to a comic book store and be like, hey man, you got any of these books that have this in it? They look at me like, how'd you get that book that has that weird jewelry in it, you know? And you're just like, well, you know,
I'll sell it to you for $30.
Right.
Trade you it for an AF-15, homie.
Right. There's another one. Team Up.
Right on.
This is my only Masters of Kung Fu.
Okay.
My only Miss Marvel.
Yep, I didn't think about that title either.
Now, this is an older series. Like I said, a lot of people aren't into Westerns that much or anything else like that. But they are older school ones, 72.
Oh, yeah, that's Black cool. Apache. Oh, wait, Black Apache Kid. Black Rider Outlaw and the Apache Kid, right?
Black Rider, Apache Kid, and Outlaw Kid. You still got it wrong, Nick.
No, put that back up there.
It's 3 different characters.
Okay. Black Rider, Apache. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking Black Apache, Rider Kid, Outlaw Kid.
Not Black Rider Outlaw or Apache Kid.
I'm just saying Black Apache sounds like one hell of a badass superhero. Almost like a ghost.
Another one of the laundry ones.
Oh.
So these diamond ones, and that's what this is a diamond jeweler. Not a Mark jeweler, but a diamond jeweler, which is basically the same thing, but they started it way back in the old days. They're the ones that put the lingerie in it. That one's probably one of my favorite ones too. We got just like a short handful left. Nom, number 1, which, like I said, from my uncle, these are all kind of
Nom. That's cool.
Vietnam ones. What he brought back with him were the comic books that from over there.
That had to be wild being in Vietnam and reading comics about it. Like,
right.
That had to have been wild.
Was that Marvel that did Nom?
Yep.
Neat.
Now, these next ones are really the ones that everybody likes to see. Because there are a couple of X-Men in there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact we hadn't seen any X-Men yet.
Well, we did the alphabet. We're already on X.
Oh, okay.
A couple more.
Mm-hmm. Is that the first Marauders? I can't remember.
Marauders cameo, I think, is what I got written on there.
Okay.
And another one of them ones. First Marauders.
There it is. I was going to say, yeah, I think it's the next issue then. Yep. The 25th anniversary cover, the frame. I know Ryan, he's collected all of those. That was
famous scene.
That was one of the first comic books I ever spent more than $10 on when I first started. It was that book there. I bought that one in
a new bag. It's all teared up. 313 or 213.
Yeah, and then 221 is the other cover where they fight on it. I bought both of those together, and I think I bought 214 as well.
That's 214.
Or maybe it was the issue before that one. Then it was the Wolverine cover, the round 1.
212.
Yeah.
There's 215. Someone's got a couple of first appearances in it too, but I just can't. I'm not much of an X-Men to even know who they all are. Yeah, this is the one you're talking about.
Yes.
First battle between Sabretooth and Wolverine.
Yeah, that's a good one. I should pull up my X-Men comics if any of them are.
That's an awesome one.
$50 and yeah, I would say she has 2 spine ticks in it, but yeah,
that's clean then. That's nice.
Still a Mark Bueller. And it's one of the ones I wanted, like this one. I wanted the Juggernaut one, so I got a Juggernaut one.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good cover.
This Dazzler joins the X-Men, I believe.
You'll see that one picking up soon.
Yeah. Let's go with a little Power Man and Iron Fist.
Okay. Yep, that's another one that we have yet to see in the title. So,
how about a little Warlord?
That is awesome. Cool. They're riding freaking Velociraptors.
Another DC one.
Oh yeah.
This one I like because he's just like on a big old beast.
Oh yeah, that's gnarly.
Kind of like a Conan thing. Chicks all, oh help me, I'm selfless.
Yep, that's another one of those. I mean, it's a newsstand. It's a Mark Jewelers. It's a bondage cover. I mean, that so many different niche types of collecting.
So this one is I think it's a Marvel comic group, or it might be War is Hell. So it is definitely a Mark Jeweler. See the star right there in the center. But like I said, a lot more of your military ones. Your Sergeant Rock's War of Hell. There's a couple more we'll have showing here in a minute. But a lot of them seem to have a lot more of the stamps on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm familiar with that title.
Wars, yeah, it was just one that I came across, and as you see, there's no newsstand, direct, no nothing. So you wouldn't know unless you saw the stamp or looked from the top. We got a West Coast Avengers.
That one's got the newsstand.
See, I know nothing about West Coast Avengers either.
We got an old school kind of Sergeant Rock.
That was neat.
We got an Army. What's this one? Oh yeah, black left corner. This is of our Army Sergeant Rock. And you can see right there the stamp is. That's a DC. So some of them are same way. They're the thicker cardboard, but it's more not as bright colored as the Mark Jewelers. They're kind of dullish brown.
Yeah, it doesn't have the bright pink or turquoise.
Right, or purple, which I don't know why they did that.
Do they have different stamps? Or do they all seem
no,
to be,
it's usually
I've only seen the star.
the star. Yeah,
Okay.
the star stamp. Here's a Star Spangled War Stories, Soldier Unknown. All right, there's your stamp up in the corner. So it's kind of like a horror. The dude hiding underneath the dead body, about ready to stab some Germans.
That's gnarly.
The same thing. There's no barcode. So I don't know if, let's say, DC per se doesn't put on a barcode on it to find it. Because the last three I just showed you were all DC with no barcodes.
Yeah.
The next one too. So like Marvel, you can tell that it has a barcode. Here's another one.
That's cool.
No barcode, and it's all the way up in that corner. The star.
Okay, yep. You really gotta find you gotta have a good eye to catch that star when you're flipping through.
Right. Now here's a couple that are controversy with me because covers are kind of thick, right? Thick cardboard. So would the back cover be considered a Mark Jeweler?
Oh, that's intriguing.
Or is it just because it has to be in the middle?
I mean, I would assume that would still qualify.
But I guess, are those only to the ones that were sent overseas or to military bases, or was that sent to like everybody?
No black star on it, and it's a Charlton. So did they only do it on the back of a couple of back covers, or like our next comic book on the inside of the cover?
I hadn't seen that.
Ghost Man.
Intriguing.
I've seen the back covers before. I've not seen that though.
An inside cover of it. Same thing. Kind of hard. Different from the paper.
Yeah, that would have to. I would think that if those were secluded to just the military bases like the other ones, then that would mean those had to have a completely separate print run, printed on different paper, and a whole back cover has to be different, or the inside cover. So that's
I was told once a lot of these Ghost Manors have them printed on the inside, because these to me look like the original Diamond Jewelers. Same kind of old school product. You know, it's only a couple rings on there and that's it. I think they're even, yeah, and it's diamond sales. And this is 1970s is what this is.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple curveballs for sure.
Right. Do you call him a Mark Jeweler? I mean, they have Mark Jeweler things in them.
And if they
Like
are,
what?
do they follow the same rules and around as far as the rarity goes, or were they just all printed that way?
But that's what I'm thinking is because Marvel and DC, maybe they just had a contract where you put them in the middle. Well, Claritin, maybe they have them either you put it on the inside or on the back. That might be their contract.
Being a different publisher.
And my last one is 2001 Space Odyssey.
I like it.
Yep, I've seen several of those come through here.
Of Mark Jewelers?
Can't say that I've seen a Mark Jeweler.
Well, you just did.
But
that's some weird Mark Jewelers that I have. My weird obsession with Mark Jewelers. I have to look through them. And there's so many different colors. There's black, there's red, there's brown, there's orange. You know, some people tell me that the different colors make a difference in the rarity of it or whatnot.
I've never heard that.
To me, it's just fun finding them, like that oddball thing.
Yeah.
After everything else I'm looking for, some this or some that. And I just find that oddball one like, oh, really? Like, this is a coverless Mark Jeweler. Oh, wait, no, it's got a cover.
Well, I think it's just really cool and unique the way it kind of started for you, right?
That's what I was going to say. The origin story of how you got into it is really cool, that it has a personal connection to you.
Yeah, because I think so often, I mean, for example, you know, getting burned out with comic books and frustrated or just like not really sure where to go. And it's like for you, you know, has that always just basically been a clear line of Mark Jewelers? If I'm feeling frustrated, I have nothing else to really hunt for, Mark Jewelers.
Well, here's the thing. Have you really heard of it besides the past couple of years? Like really, you know, before Corona, nobody really heard of it. So I was picking them up left and right. You know, some good comic books, and people were just like, just take it. I don't know. It's got a rip cover. I don't care. It has the Mark Jeweler.
Yeah.
Then trying to explain to them what it is a Mark Jeweler, and they're just like, well, I don't care. Just take it.
Yeah.
To me, it was more fun finding them comic books that actually had them in it.
Yeah. Very neat.
Yeah, and I mean, it gives you something like that's something like you'll always be able to continue to have something to hunt for, and different, you find, you know, the different places that they put them, and these don't have the star, but these do, and these don't have the barcode, and these do. I mean, I didn't know that there was such a vast difference just amongst Mark Jewelers that goes past just having the insert. So that was definitely pretty cool to be able to see all of that and learn more about the Mark Jewelers outside of just Mark Jewelers means it's worth more. You know, it's like, well, it goes a little deeper than that.
For sure.
Right. I mean, like I said, DC ones, you can't always say that it has a Mark Jeweler. It doesn't unless you actually open it up. Some have stars, some don't, you know. To me, it's just that little bit. Hey, I'm looking for this key, this key, this key. And then the final key is if I can't open it and I can look at it from the top and see if it has a Mark Jeweler in it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have a star or a barcode, you know, newsstand on it, then I'm looking at the top. If it doesn't have that, then I pretty much move on. I've got some before that have had stamps, newsstands, open it up, and somebody's ripped it out.
Yeah.
The Mark.
Interesting.
So I just paid $3, $5 for this comic book at a comic book store or whatever, because they won't let me open it up and look at it, and I can't really tell because I'm a little bit old, and you know I got a couple crooked eyes in there. So
bring you a magnifying glass. That's weird though. They won't let you look it up. Or are you talking about like they wouldn't let you unback and board the comic book?
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. It might have been that day. It might have been a bad day. Whatever. But I got it home and I was like, oh no, there's just chunks in there of the Mark Jeweler left.
Yeah.
So I'm like, But $3. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
House
Can't
of
complain with
mystery,
that.
you know.
Right on. Yeah, it's cool to be able to see, like I said, past the, it's a big key, and it's a Mark Jewelers, or just the fact that it's a Mark Jewelers. I'm going to get it graded. It hits 9.8. That increases the value of it by like 30%. And that's why people collect them, and to see that, you have a personal connection and reasoning for collecting these specifically.
Yeah.
It just, I know it sucks whenever, because I mean, I feel like it happens to me all the time where you get into collecting something and then all of a sudden something happens that causes what you're looking for to become valuable to everyone at that point. So now it makes it harder for you to, one, get it at a good price, but two, now you're having to fight the crowds to even find them, because now there's this big secret out about it that you weren't concerned with, but now that's the thing everybody wants for that reason. So
it happens
like
a lot.
I said, most comic book stores didn't even know nothing about them. Most average person comic book collector didn't really know that much about them.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't until. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, when Corona popped off and people started really making big deals of random things, Mark Jewelers was definitely up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Weird.
You got anything else to show us?
Well, I am a collector of DC universes, but I had to make room for all my Mark Jewelers here, but I'd show some of them. Okay. Maybe that's for another show. That's another oddball thing I collect is DC universes.
Yeah. Those are harder to get a hold of than Mark Jewelers.
Yeah. DC universes are another hard one to come across. And I have like one they call a ghost, which they didn't know existed, but then all of a sudden 2 got graded. So they have 2 and I have the 3rd one and I don't have it graded yet.
Okay.
So it's one of them ones that they didn't think existed, but it does exist. And I have it up, put away right now. But yeah, maybe another show or something. You guys get bored and have me on and I'll show some DC Universe ones. That's another where they got pallets. Like, let's say they did 1,000 comic books and they didn't reach that 1,000. So they'll put the DC Universe ones to build it up to 1,000. So there might be only 5 of them or 200 to 300 of them just to make that pallet 1,000. So that's why you'll see some DC universes that there'll be like 60 or 70 of them, and then other ones that a ghost, like they call it a ghost because it might not be even out there, and somebody might have it in their collection or may not.
Yeah, I don't think I very rarely see those, so that'd be a cool one to do too.
Yeah, I have about 5 of them they consider ghosts, or there's under 10 in circulation or graded.
That's awesome. That's cool.
The one I have is a Supergirl one, and there's only 2 graded, and I have the 3rd one. And the one graded at a 7.5, they want like almost 2,000 for. Just because it's so rare.
Yeah.
That they're saying that, hey, you'll never see this comic book again, and then another guy will pop up his, hey, I want the same thing.
That's usually how it starts.
That's wild.
But they are considered ghosts because there's either so low print of it or nobody's even seen it. But
yeah,
they say that it's out there, but nobody's seen it.
Okay.
Intriguing.
It's kind of like my Mark Jewelers, some of them are purple, some have miscuts, some have this, some have that. It's another oddball thing I look for besides just the average Joe Hulks or Spider-Man, whatever. Now, a lot of comic books I showed you guys tonight, some of you guys might have the Spider-Mans or Hulks, but the new universe or Kickers or Mech, some of them we don't collect. We don't even look at twice at them, because it's like $1 comic book or whatever. Yeah. But really, that $1 comic book just went to $25 because it has a Mark Jeweler in it. You didn't realize that until you just went, kind of one of them weird oddball things,
And you gotta know what you're looking for. So But I think anybody watching and on the replay or who watched live, I mean, definitely a lot of good information on how to find them and the different ones out there. So, that another thing that we wanted out of this show when we decided to go back to doing this was just, hopefully people will see things like this and get intrigued by something they didn't know existed or knew was a thing. And now that's something that's their thing now. And, something they can bond with the person who showed them off. So, very cool. We definitely appreciate you coming on and showing those, man. It was really cool. And like I said, definitely did not expect to see the vast differences amongst Mark Jewelers outside of just, it's got the insert in it. So that was really cool.
Yep. Do you have anything oddball you collect that's not comic books?
Well, I have this card right here.
Man, that is old school as it gets.
So I thought it was much bigger. That the perspective there threw me off. It looked like that shelf was further away, and that was sitting up there. That just blew my mind.
Oh yeah, that was one of the first
I have Two Brothers coffee holder around here somewhere.
Oh, you got a coaster too?
A coaster? Yeah, I got one of them original thick coasters.
I've got one that I have kept and I have used it, and it is around here somewhere. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a collector's item one of these days because there was not many of them.
There was 10.
Oh, really?
Cap's got one. I got one, so that means there's 8 floating around somewhere.
Yep. Mine is with my what if number 10 that you gave me. That's where that one is.
Right on.
So awesome, man. Well, Steve, man, we do appreciate you coming on, hanging out for an hour and a half with us and spending some time showing off things you love. It's what it's about.
Yep.
You guys are always fun. I love having a great time with you guys. Yep. I love your show. I supported it. I made my wife sub you so you guys can hit that 1,000 mark. Back in the old days when you guys were just little guys,
Oh man.
It's
been a while, isn't it?
We're still little guys. I promise you that. But yeah, we love you guys. It's always fun to hang out with you and Tori and all the different shows that we've done together over the years. Not just here, but all the way across the YouTube, man. It's always a good time. So glad we could hang out and spend some time together tonight for sure, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, guys. You guys are always fun. I love the little Tony Stark mustache coming in. I've been rooting for it.
It's bad when somebody says they're rooting for your mustache. But I can't
get
shave
there
it.
Someday.
I can't shave it because that means people will win.
If you want to catch me on shows, I'm on Saturdays on the Gray Man Show on Cover Slingers every Saturday, the best I can anyways. Still one of the craziest comic book shows that still goes on every week with the title. I mean, there's so many titles that we are like, yep, we did that. Yep, we did that. We did that. That's pretty sad where you're trying to find something that you haven't done yet. Like we've done every color of the rainbow. We've done underwater, above water, planes, birds, you name it. We've done it all there. And it is such a great show because, Gray Man's from UK and then Matilda, she's from Israel. So with all that going on, I think it kind of gives her a little break every week to have us on there laughing at each other and having a great time on that show. And
it's a good show.
I support that show wholeheartedly because it's raunchy, it's fun, it's a great time. It's a great Saturday.
Yeah. And what time does that come on? I can't remember the
it's noon mountain time, so it'd be about 2 hours your time. So it'd be about 10 o'clock.
Okay. Yep. So make sure you guys go check that out. And make sure you guys are following Cap on Instagram. Definitely you will definitely find humorous posts there quite often, I promise you.
I entertain myself a lot, Drinking seawater doesn't do too good an effect, but it's fun.
Awesome, well, thanks again for coming on, man. Guys, if you have any interest in being on the show and coming and showing off the unique items in your collection, doesn't have to be comic books. I mean, just something that you love that you think's unique and cool, make sure you hit us up on Instagram and let us know. We will have the next show in 2 weeks. We do it every other Wednesday, so we will need a guest in 2 weeks. Make sure you hit us up on the Instagram for that. You have anything, Nick?
As always, we'll bring it back old school, man.
That's right, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. And as always,
collect your way. Finger gun it, Steve.
Way.
Finger
collect
gun it.
your way.